Right now, we will broadcast for you the news in English on Radio Free Syria.
Welcome to our news hour in English. I am MarwanKADRO and I will be with you during this news hour from Radio Free Syria. The British Sunday Times said that 5 military ships are on their way to the Syrian coast, to Tartus. The newspaper said that these military ships are an answer on the Patriot batteries that have been spread out near the Turkish-Syrian border. A Russian officer said that these military ships have arrived to Syria to make sure to stop any Western military intervention. We will start with Homs. Colonel Khalid Barakat has defected after Assad finished his speech. Meanwhile, heavy battles between the FSA and the Assad forces in Al-Jandali neighborhood as the city of Al-Hola had been under heavy shelling using tanks and rocket launchers. Moreover, the city of Al-Qusayr had been also under heavy shelling using heavy artillery and tanks. Activists said that Homs is suffering as there are no medicines to treat the injury. There is also no bread or flour. In Damascus and its suburbs, a huge explosion in the neighborhoods of Al-Midan and Kafr Sousa. Also a huge explosion in Yarmouk refugee camp as heavy battles continued between the FSA and the Assad forces. Activists added that the First Lady who shouted Allahu Akbar, God is great, has been killed in Zabadani in the suburbs of Damascus. This was the first voice that came out from Zabadani during the peaceful demonstrations. The death of Wissam Burhan was a major blow for the people of Zabadani also, as activists of Zabadani said, the hero Wissam Burhan, our peaceful and armed martyr. Today he was hit by a sniper, and today he will enter the paradise. He went out on the street to yell, Free Syria, Free Syria. Moreover, on the news of Damascus suburbs, heavy shelling on Kafr Batna. There are rumors that people have been killed due to the heavy shelling. Somewhere else, heavy shelling on the village of Beit Saham that is suffering for more than 40 days as there is no water and no electricity. And in Uqraba, that is near to Damascus International Airport, a colonel of the Assad forces was killed there on the hands of the Secret Service of the Free Syrian Army. Heavy shelling on the cities of Arbin and Deir al-Asafir as heavy battles have been heard around these areas. Gunfire have been heard in the neighborhood of Qadam as there were also heavy battles there. Moving to Hama. Heavy shelling using missiles from Hama military airport on the villages of Hama's countryside. Also heavy shelling on the city of Latamna from Al-Dair checkpoint as Qastoun has been under heavy shelling also. Heavy bombardments on the villages of Bseirin as the Assad forces have hit the water supplements. Heavy bombardments on the city of Halfaya also from the early morning which resulted in massive destruction of the city. Heavy battles have been heard between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces near the northern front in Taibat al-Imam and near the western front in Maharda as the FSA have succeeded in destroying several tanks and killing dozens of Assad soldiers. The human situation is very bad in that particular city as there is no flour to make bread and the electricity had been cut off from more than a week. Moreover, brigades of the FSA have destroyed 3 vehicles that belong to the Syrian government on the way between As-Saqbiya and Tal Burhan in Qalat al-Madiq. Heavy shelling on Qalat al-Madiq from the checkpoint that is near to Al-Saqbaniya, which resulted in the destruction of the house buildings there. We will move now to the northern area of Syria, and particularly to Idlib. Heavy battles between the FSA and the Assad forces in the villages of Kafruma, as heavy bombardments have been heard, which resulted in the defection of 9 soldiers. Heavy shelling from the Vozlika launchers on the village of Marta from Al-Ma'asra checkpoint that is located there. A massive explosion have been heard in Jabal al-Zawiya after a missile have been dropped there. Assad forces have fired Scud missiles that are made in Iran. These missiles have a reach of 200 kilometers. One of these missiles have fallen in the village of Sarja in Idlib's countryside in the eastern side of Jabal al-Zawiya. We will move to Daraa. In the village of Qarfa, more tanks and soldiers have arrived near the village of Qarfa as barbarian shelling on the city of Da'al continued from Al-Banura checkpoint. Meanwhile, the village of Khirbat Ghazala have been under heavy gunfire from the western side of the village. Several explosions have been heard in the village of Sheikh Miskin. A delegation of that particular village went to the leader of the 112th Brigade to talk about stopping the heavy shelling on the city. In favor of that, they will return the captured soldiers that are in the hands of the Free Syrian Army. We will talk right now about general situation in Syria and particularly about the refugee camp of Al-Zatari in Jordan. More than 8,000 refugees have arrived in Jordan this year. Most of them are from the city of Daraa and the surrounding areas. Anmar al-Hamoud, the local coordinator of the Syrian refugees in Jordan, said that more than 8,000 refugees have entered Jordan since the beginning of the year. Most of these refugees are women and children, as most of them are from the province of Daraa. Al-Hamoud added, in Jordan, there are more than 300,000 Syrian refugees in Al-Zatari refugee camp that is located near the Syrian border. Hundreds of Syrians crosses the Syrian border to Jordan every day. They run from the heavy bombardments of the Assad forces. Most of these people live at family members in Al-Ramsa and Irbid, and most of them also go to the Al-Zatari refugee camp. They have families there where they can live with. This was it for today. Thank you very much for listening. I am MarwanKADRO from Radio Free Syria, along with me, Executive Manager Islam Al-Idilwi. Please follow us on freesyriaradio.webs.com. You can also reach us through Skype on Syrian342. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Right now, we will broadcast for you the news in English on Radio Free Syria.